Good afternoon. So, I was checking my TweetDeck feed today and I came across a link of a video by Afro MRA coon extraordinaire Tommy Sotomayor. You may remember him from Sequester Zone's What's Wrong with Feminism Part 4 video when Sotomayor expressed that if a woman has had more than a certain number of dicks, aka if her body count is too high for his standards, she's not worthy of being in a relationship with him or any man. Now, in this video, he attempts to ether model Beverly Johnson for writing her piece in Vanity Fair about Bill Cosby drugging her while having coffee at his house to rehearse for a possible role in The Cosby Show back in the day. So let's go through this video and see how many stereotypical tropes and logical fallacies that he'll use in this.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Tommy Sotomayor. It's my birthday, and happy birthday to me. I'm also a little disturbed that I'm going to have to do this, and I'm going to have to do it well. So I put on my Bill Cosby hat because this is the hat that's needed, because this was supposed to be a news story. I was going to do a news story. But I realized, nah, you can't do a news story. This has to be an ether. So
Actually, no, you didn't have to do this. You really, really, really did not have to do this. You could have just stayed away from this topic, could have just gone about your life and enjoyed your birthday. You know, shutting the fuck up is never a bad idea. Keep that in mind.
do me a favor and drop that motherfucking beat. Yeah. All right. There's a woman on my Instagram, or used to be on my Instagram, my Twitter. Her name is Beverly Johnson. Beverly Johnson is a former model, and she was the first African-American woman that was on Vanity Fair, or some crap like that.
Why do you put American? Why do you use the quotation marks for American? What's that all about? I mean, I know you hate black women. I know you hate black women, excuse me. But, you know, damn, it just does it have to you just can't help yourself. You just have to make it so obvious. It just comes seeping out of your pores. It's just this is really sad.
Well, this woman who was a follower of mine, who loved my work up until today, when I asked her a question on Twitter, and I wasn't rude, I found out that she did a story, and you can go to the link inside the description box and read the letter she penned for Vanity Fair talking about her incident with, yes, Sir Bill Cosby. You know, the man who's known for raping across the world and drugging across the world. Mr. Rick Ross before he was Rick Ross. She ain't know it. You know that. Anyway, Beverly Johnson penned a letter for Vanity Fair describing her incident of what happened with Bill Cosby. Because as you know, black women cannot let white women get all of the press. They got to get in there and do the get press with them. Can't just be white women. But let me get back to that.
Wow. I mean, it's bad enough that you cape for Bill Cosby. I mean, but I mean, of course you would. You're an MRA. So, you know, what comes with that is that anytime a man is accused of rape, you automatically think that, you know, bitch be lying. You automatically think that the woman is lying. So, I mean, this isn't really surprising. So, you're not only do you really hate women, you really, really, really hate black women. And it's like you're just like all these other fucking Ashy Larry guys who think that every time a white woman does something that black women have to piggyback off of what white women are doing, even though a lot of times it's black women who are being piggybacked off of or copied in regards to rights movements, how to dress, how to wear one's hair, size of your ass. I could go on, but let's continue.
A little bit later. So Beverly pens her letter, and all I did was say to her on Twitter, I said, since we're friends, I'm disappointed that you chose to tell the story about Bill Cosby via Vanity Fair, but I'd like to have you on my show to air this out. Well, she didn't like that. She blocked me. Well, everybody knows I'm a men's rights activist. Whores get away too damn much talking shit about men and saying they raped them, they molested them, they beat them, and then when it's found out that they're lying, nothing happens, does it? What?
Again, Tommy's gone ahead and just proven me right in regards to how he feels about rape accusers and rape victims and rape survivors. Apparently, they're all lying whores. On top of that, Tommy, yes, you were rude. You were rude for thinking that you were being skeptical when you accused Beverly Johnson of being wrong for telling her story at a time when it needed to be told. So you were very rude. You're very insensitive. You were basically a douche nozzle. Let's continue.
What happens to women that lying about shit like that? Nothing. So here's what I want to do. I want to address Beverly Johnson and address the fact that the bitch probably lying, and if she ain't lying, we shouldn't give a fuck about her or none of the hoes who coming out right now saying that they were drugged by Bill Cosby. Now, if you go read the story about Beverly Johnson, it sounds like a bunch of bullshit. It's told the way black women tell it. Now, remember the white women, they all told a story about, oh, woe is me. I was drugged and I didn't know what to do. You know, the white women sound soft. They sound like females. Not the black bitch. Go read Beverly Johnson's side of the story. Beverly Johnson tells her side of the story. She says it went down like this, which makes no sense.
Now, it's weird. Something weird just happened here. Cuz Tommy does have such contempt for women across the board, but more so for black women than for white women. Because look at how he puts, white women and black women together. Even though he hates women, period, he will prop white women up as being a little close to human or females than black women. When it comes to white women, they're females. When it comes to black women, we're bitches. We're dogs. We're animals, undeserving of having our humanity recognized and affirmed.
Bill Cosby drugged her, tried to get her to have sex with him up top with her apparently. Now, she was never raped in this incident. She was never even groped. She said that Bill.
She didn't say that she was groped or that she was raped. She just said that he drugged her. Why are you inserting all these extra things that she didn't say or implied or imply?
Bill Cosby gave her some kind of drug after she was trying to be on the Cosby Show in the 80s. Now, mind you, this bitch is 62, so she was in her 30s then. Let me tell you something else about this bitch. If you read her article, she didn't have custody of her damn kid. So who had custody of the kid? The dad. But she was taking the damn kid to go see Bill Cosby in his house. Anyway.
Well, Beverly Johnson was still working heavily in the model industry, and plus she had done some films. So naturally, she's traveling all around the world, all around the country. That's not really the best That's not really the best, method in raising a child. So of course, the child is going to be with the parent who's able to um, be more stable, live in one place, stay in one place, have the kid go to one school instead of hopping from this state to that state, from this country to that country. And of course, that would be the dad. There's absolutely nothing wrong with men being the custodial parent. So, and I would think that being an MRA yourself, you would be okay with breaking the stereotype of women being the only ones who are efficient at raising children. So but yet, why are you trying to shame Beverly Johnson for for her ex-husband or her husband at the time, because in the Ebony article, in the Vanity Fair article, if you read, she was going through a divorce at the time, and her husband had primary custody, so he was the custodial parent, and she wasn't. What's the problem with women being the non-custodial parent? She was working, she had a job. Women aren't, genetically engineered to be better parents than men are. So I I just don't get it. I don't get it at all. Except you're trying to use that to shame Beverly Johnson for shame her character for what? She's not a good mother or a good person just because she's not the custodial parent. It's bullshit.
She goes and Bill Cosby drugs her. She said because she was in the drug scene in the 70s and 80s, she knew exactly what was going on. She knew the drug. But
Actually, she didn't say that she knew the drug, Tommy. She said that she knew she was drugged. If you can just, you can just go on Google right away and find out that there's more than one particular drug besides alcohol that's used to facilitate date rape or drug facilitated rape. Offhand, I can think of GHB, ecstasy, and Rohypnol. There's probably another one that I'm missing, but do your research before opening up your mouth, and try to be a bit more honest about what she said in the article next time. Maybe? No? Fine, whatever.
if that's the case, then didn't she know Bill was gonna rape her?
Um, one really can't say what would happen to them when they're in a situation like that if someone drugs them. And why should she have gone into the situation um knowing she's not psychic, and neither were any of Bill's other victims. So why are you putting the onus on women to be psychics to know a man's behavior, or know a potential rapist's behavior, or what have you? But then some MRAs will complain at the same time of, Schrodinger's rapist or whatever the fuck. Every guy's a feminist want women to think that all men are potential rapists and blah 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 blah. But here you are perpetuating this bullshit.
Or try to rape her or drug her. But let's move on past that. She says that once she realized that she had been drugged, she looked at Bill Cosby and kept saying, "You motherfucker. I know what you did. You motherfucker." Of course, that's how black women talk. They like fucking men. They really like dudes. So, apparently,
You do know that there are black women who are gay, right? Which would mean that there are black women who are not sexually attracted to men. Okay.
she kept calling Bill Cosby a motherfucker so much that Bill Cosby decided raping this black bitch wouldn't even be a good idea. That he took her by her arm, put her in a cab, and sent her home. Now, this is a story this bitch is telling 30 years later. Come on, you dumbass bitch. Don't y'all understand that this is stupid shit that black women do to get attention? You telling the story that this man gave you a drug, you cussed him out, and he sent you home. What kind of rapist just don't go through with it?
Maybe a rapist who realizes that the jig is up, and Beverly wasn't really at the point where she was unconscious. Maybe. Because, I mean, if you go back and look at the accounts of all the other women who have accused Cosby of drugging them and raping them, most times they drink something. Cosby would give them something to drink, and they would drink it, and then they wouldn't remember what happened next until after they awoke, when the drug started wearing off. And that's pretty much when Bill took advantage of them and raped them. So, I mean, oh God, I'm only about 5 minutes in, and this video is just fucking pathetic. It's like, you think of yourself as this skeptic and this scholar, and you really just come off as this fucking tinfoil conspiracy theorist who is more worried about this poor black man and people are trying to get at him. Well, I mean, like, I hate to go back to, well, of course you would think that because you're an MRA, but there's really no other explanation for it. You don't give a fuck about women, as I've said a bunch of times already. You totally don't give a fuck about black women. It's just, and it's just so sad. And it's not even like Bill Cosby would give a fuck about you. Bill Cosby wouldn't give a fuck about you. Well, then again, maybe he would. I mean, if you hate black women and Bill Cosby's pretty anti-black, and you just tried to shame Beverly Johnson for not being a custodial parent, that kind of falls along the line of respectability politics. So maybe Bill Cosby might like you. But I mean, he's certainly not paying you for having his back. So I mean, what's the use of all this?
And why did the drug not affect you? All it did was make you cuss. Matter of fact, giving a black woman a drug turned them motherfuckers into the Hulk. You don't like them when they're angry. You won't like them when they're angry. Now, the bitch says that she went home and called back Bill Cosby to go off on him at 11 o'clock at night. And of course, when she went home to go off on him at 11 o'clock at night, what happened? Well, Bill Cosby's wife answered the phone. Bill Cosby's wife said, "Look, ma'am, do not call my house this late. My husband's asleep." So after this happened, what happened after that? Of course, she never called Bill Cosby back again. So wait a minute, miss. You're saying that Bill Cosby drugged you. You're saying that Bill Cosby threw you out. I guess, I don't know. She didn't even say he tried to have sex with her. He just drugged her for no reason. Because that's what Bill Cosby's doing, just drugging people. So Bill Cosby drugs you, puts you in the cab. You call his house at 11 o'clock at night like a whore instead of a respectable woman who would call in the daytime and ask him a question.
Yep, there we have it. Respectability politics. Oh, you called this man's home at 11 p.m. like a whore. Um, as if people don't get calls at their house late at night from other people, other types of people. It's just, oh God. This really makes no sense whatsoever. Fuck. Yeah, maybe Bill Cosby might like you because you are a respectability politicking asshole.
Wife answers the phone, and it tells you don't be calling my house past 11, and you claim, oh, because you was in California, you didn't know it was 11 o'clock. Well, bitch, it was 8 o'clock. Why would you not call him in the middle of the damn day? With respect. But here's the biggest thing I gotta talk about. And this is why I don't love them hoes. I don't like them hoes. Because these hoes is coming out 30 years later. If Bill Cosby was drugging people 30 years ago, if Bill Cosby was taking pussy 30 years ago, each one of you hoes should be brought up on charges for conspiracy or accessory after the fact. Because you allowed him to do it to you and you didn't tell nobody. But all of a sudden you telling it 30 years later to get money.
What the fuck are you talking about? It's a good... You're an idiot, Tommy. Okay, so number one, the statute of limitations has already ran out. So there's no way that they're going to get any sort of criminal justice. They can't even really file a civil suit, I don't think. So it's not about the money. It's not about putting Bill Cosby in jail. It's about letting people know what type of person he is now that he doesn't have as much power and pull as he used to back in the day because of dumbass respectable Negroes like you. Well, not even respectable. But on top of that, Bill Cosby chose these women over the span of, 20, 30 years. He chose them because they weren't in a position to do anything against him if they were to come out against him at the time. So, and Beverly Johnson even says it. She was in a very vulnerable position. She was trying to expand her career, and knowing how powerful and how much pull Bill Cosby has in the industry, one bad word from him and your career was over, was done with, you know. So, and a lot of the victims really just didn't want their lives impacted in that way. And, all these questions, all this shit that you're saying, it just lets me know that you know fuck all about what happens to people when they're raped, what they go through, the things that go through their mind. You know nothing about rape, you know nothing about the criminal system in regards to rape. You don't know anything. You don't give a fuck about any of that. All you care about is a bunch of women who are saying that your fave did something really bad to them, and you don't believe them because you think that all women are whores and all women are liars. Well, not all women, just, women who do things that you don't like, they're all whores. And especially when it comes to rape, pretty much all the time, most times you think that that you think rape victims are lying about what happened to them. And you say, oh, they let this stuff happen to you. Like, yes, like I just let some motherfucker rape. I was drugged, so I let some motherfucker rape me. So it's totally my fault because I let someone rape me, even though I was, drugged and incapacitated and just woke up and didn't fucking remember where I was. Like, you are just a fucking idiot.
If Bill Cosby was such a bad dude, each one of you hoes had an obligation to go and tell your story to the authorities.
They didn't have an obligation to tell the authorities. Would it have been great if they told the authorities? Yes. But as I just explained, they were not in a position to really do that because of the type of person that Bill Cosby was. Like, and plus, who would fucking believe them? Hell, you don't fucking believe them now. So what makes you think, how would you convince me that you would believe them, that you would have believed it if they came out with it back then?
Not to Vanity Fair, not to Conan O'Brien, not to Don Lemon, and not 30 years after the damn fact. Each one of these whores was out there trying to get their damn career started, and it didn't work. And this Beverly Johnson is a low-rate, low-cut bitch that ain't never been no damn real actress. Go ahead. When's the last fucking time she led a movie? Come on, bitch. You 62 years old talking about somebody tried to fuck you 30 years ago. Everybody was fucking you 30 years ago. Yeah, I said it. But you got mad at me because I just look. I'm gonna let all y'all celebrities know if you follow me, this is the best time to unfollow me. Because I don't give a fuck. Now I'll come at you respectfully. But if you say something that look weird or I gotta do the story, just because you follow me or just because you call me on the phone, just because we go have dinner, does not mean I'm not gonna cover that damn story.
You're not really covering a story, though. You're just being an asshole.
So Beverly Johnson, fuck you. You don't like the fact that I was covering the story? Blocking me on Twitter has nothing to do with anything, bitch. I got more followers than you. More people know me than you.
Sadly, more people know about you than about things that actually matter, like the very first African American model who paved the way for Naomi Campbell and for Tyra Banks. It's sad, but it is true. More people know more useless shit and more useless people than shit that actually matters. So I mean, if that makes you feel good, I mean, go for it.
And I ain't have to suck a dick or get drugged for it to happen.
How do you know what any of these women did to do anything? You're just making assumptions because they were either models or, actresses, or, people trying to, actresses who are really trying to make a footprint in the industry. How do you know what they did to get to wherever they needed to go? You don't know anything about them. You're just making assumptions out of your ass because of how you feel and what you think of women. You think so little of us. You're clearly biased. So, I mean, but you're not psychic. So it would behoove you to stop acting like you are.
Now again, you're a nice looking old ass woman. But the problem with black women is they don't know how to make people feel sorry for them. I gotta say, when it comes to black women, you go from being empathetic to them, sympathetic to them, and to just realizing that they're just damn pathetic.
Thank you for letting us know again, how you think of black women. Luckily, there are people who do feel empathetic to us. And to those people, thanks. Thanks for recognizing our humanity. As you can see, not even our own people do. It's like that famous saying, all our skin folk ain't our kinfolk.
Empathetic, sympathetic to just damn pathetic. And black women can go from each stage like that. This woman told a story, just like another woman told a story. And all these white women was talking about being abused by their husband. What the black woman say? Well, yeah, he hit me, but I gave as good as I get. Black women act like they fucking men. She gonna tell a story.
Black women act like we're men. What's acting like a man? Exactly. Fighting back against our abusers. And actually, not every black woman fights back against their abusers. A lot of black women end up taking it and they end up getting killed. But you won't hear about that because black women are never victims of anything. We just bring our own misery to ourselves because we're always trying to act like men, whatever the fuck that means.
And not get raped, not get fondled. What she said was she was drugged. Bill Cosby drugged her for some odd reason. She nutted up on him and he put her out. Black women can't even be raped. And I guess what her.
And it is that sort of thinking right there that it just perpetuates. All Tommy is doing is just perpetuating this anti-black notion that black women are animals, that we're strong and or we put up this front to be strong and try to be men, aka be strong and show strength, and and always fight back against people who hurt us and all that. And he's just perpetuating this concept of black women not feeling pain, but we do. It's like, oh, black women can't even be raped. Well, yes, we can. We can be raped. We have been raped since slavery, since the ending of slavery, since fucking during since Reconstruction, since during the civil rights movement. Rape was used as a weapon against excuse me rape has been used as a weapon against black women for fucking centuries. But you're so fucking dumb, Tommy, so I don't even expect you to know any of that or to even care because it goes against your narrative of thinking that black women ain't shit. So
The story is that's why white women are weak. Well, that's why I'd rather hear a story from a white woman than one of you whores. Because one of you whores are going to tell a story that's going to sound like mutual combat, not like rape, not like abuse. But it.
he hates all women, like I said, but if he had his way, he would rather deal with white women than with black women. All I'll say to that is if there's any white woman out there who's dumb enough to fall for Tommy Sotomayor, you deserve him.
Anyways, this is my E to the you, Beverly Johnson. If you gave a shit about what happened to you, you would have told it 30 years ago when you could have got the man criminally prosecuted instead of trying to tell the damn story now when writing it to Vanity Fair and getting paid, you nasty bitch. And any one of you other bitches that's coming out right now talking shit about Bill Cosby, you had an obligation to every young girl out there who could get raped after your ass got raped. But instead, you didn't do it. You only come.
Yeah, Tommy. Thanks for just being a misogynist shitbag. So, black women ain't shit. Black women are whores. All women are whores, but black women are bigger whores than white women. And it's our fault, and it's black women's fault that, we had an obligation apparently to stop this rapist who had so much more power than the rest of us with not just the black community but the white community, with mainstream media, with America, period. We had an obligation to, or those women, the women who accused Cosby, especially the black women, especially Beverly Johnson. Beverly Johnson apparently had this obligation to get America's dad prosecuted and put away for serial rape. But she failed, and I guess all the other and everyone else who Bill went on to victimize, it's all on Beverly Johnson's shoulders. as well as the other women that he drugged and raped. It's all their fault. So thanks for the victim blaming there, Tommy. Good job.
Coming out now to get people to like you, to get people to read your shit, to get people to feel sorry for your ass, and to get damn interview time. So each one of you whores that's coming out about Bill Cosby now, 30 years later, when you are the cause to any other young girl or woman who was raped or molested after your ass, you have been ether, nasty bitch.
Okay, this inscription says, why is it that no one is calling these whores on the fact that they are the causes of several other women being taken advantage of if they didn't tell on Bill Cosby? Well, again, Tommy, it's not the victim's fault for the rape if a rapist continues to rape women. Do you know whose fault it is? The fucking rapist. So, thank God this video is over because I don't know how much I could take. And this fucking video that I'm doing is running over 30 minutes. So, in closing, Tommy, go fuck yourself. Have a nice day.